Hello everyone, Julie here from Four Bear Ranch. Today is beehive day. So I gotta do some checking up on the bees. We have 2 new nukes and we have 2 colonies that made it through. The last time I was out, as you can see out there, I had popped, under that white part is 2 deep hives. I had put another deep hive on top, and then I had put the 2 nukes into the single deep hives. And that is all because those 2 existing colonies, they were exploding in population. So I'm gonna open those boxes and see what we have. Hopefully all is good. The weather's been up and down, which is why I didn't do anything else other than give them more room to hopefully prevent them from swarming. But now that the weather is warmed up, at least for a couple days, because there's snow, winter storm watches in the forecast, but up higher altitude, so hopefully we are okay and it doesn't get too cold at night, and we shall see what happens. Let's go take a look at those hives. Okay, so first things first, I said this is the winter wrap. We have bees going in, bees going out. It is warm out. These are 2 new hives down here, the nuke hives, and we have bees going in this one in a really weird way, so I will try to fix that. And obviously my gap under the cover is just a little bit too big. And we have bees going in of this hive through the normal location. So, woohoo! My nukes made it through that crazy, crazy up and down weather. So happy. So I'm gonna open the 2 new hives first, and then we'll go into these upper hives. On top you can see it looks like there's a honey super there. That's not a honey super. It is the quilt box to keep them warm. I haven't yet removed it because weather's been crazy, and I'm not entirely sure I will, because that's why I lost hives. One of the years is everything was good until a cold streak came through and I had removed the quilt box. I had moved the outer insulation and they died. So we'll see what's happening in there. I think I am safe to remove the insulation at this point, around the outside there, since the other guys made it, and I'll just leave the quilt box. I don't want to send them into shock, although, you know, it's been quite warm, but that's kind of what happens. They get all used to the swarm, and then all of a sudden it snows or freezes on us, and there you go. Even though it's mid-June, that's Montana. So yep, here's the hive where the bees were coming out the weird spot. You can see these guys probably froze in that last cold front there, or something. And yes, I had run out of little paint sticks, because that's what I normally do, or at least not coated paint sticks. And I used a coated paint stick. Well, that one's just too fat. So these guys have made their entrance and exit of this hive at the top through the cover and then out underneath, which is quite interesting. But let's see what it looks like when we open it up. Yeah, so here's my hive. This is the nuke. I am quite happy as to what this looks like. I did look for my queen to make sure that I didn't remove her by accident, because there are several bees on the bottom side of that cover, and no, I did not remove her. I'll pull out a frame or 2 in a second. I had filled the box up with the frames. They definitely have plenty of building to do and everything like that. I did not have the chance to feed these guys. Thought there was enough stuff out, and so far there was. Their population has more than doubled what I had put in there, which is super nice. It was a good hive, but there was not a whole lot of food left in that hive, but I couldn't keep them out much longer because those temps were going to drop, and I wanted them to hurry up and establish where they were. So that's kind of what we did. I took a chance on it, and it paid out this time. Well, so I went in. There's lots of new brood. There's brood about to hatch. Got a clean hive. I found the queen. They are running low on food, so I will bring out some sugar syrup out here. I moved their doors, which is kind of throwing them for a loop at the moment. But they're starting to figure it out. It's right down there by that bee. Someone will send out the signal soon. They haven't quite done it yet, so that's why I haven't gone to the other hive. But all in all, I'm happy with how this looks. They've got pollen starting to fill up and all kinds of stuff. Just, they don't have much honey in there, so I'm going to help them out a little bit. This is hive number 1. So this is the bottom board of hive number 2. Those swirly wet marks I just put down are white thyme oil. It's supposed to help with mites, and I actually think it does. So far, I haven't had an excessive mite load. I actually haven't found more than just a couple on the bees. So we shall see in the other hives. These are the new ones. So it's kind of a given that they don't have too much of a mite load yet, as they are new, but we shall see what we get. So this is that second deep, or third deep, I had put on top of the others, and you can see that they've started building comb in between. It does not look like any of the frames have anything built yet, but they are making their way there, which is pretty impressive. I'm glad I put it there just so they wouldn't have left. You can see how busy they are. I'm going to pull off this second deep and see where we're at in the bottom. I haven't pulled these in a long time. I just put white thyme oil in just around the perimeter of it. But so far everything's sounding good. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I can find a queen in there. Oh yes, and if you look down in there, you can see that's the bottom brew box is just full of bees as well. Totally excited to see that. I don't see any queen cells being built yet, but I haven't really looked all the way in the bottom, so we'll see what happens. But I have found brood or eggs, so that means the queen is in there somewhere. This is my bottom frame. You can actually see some larvae where the cells broke loose from where they had put the eggs and everything. Still haven't come across the queen. I'll look at a couple, but that's about it. And we found a little ant colony in between the insulation and this, so I'll wipe them off and get them out of there so they leave the bees alone. And we'll go from there. This is what the underneath of that bottom box looks like. You can see it's pretty clean honeycomb down there. I just scraped this bottom board because that was quite gross. But, of course I lost a larva, but there it is. And now I'm going to put everything back together, make sure I don't lose my queen in there. I'm thinking I'll put the quilt box back on because they're using that as an entrance as well as the bottom. And I'm going to feed them, and then hopefully maybe in a couple weeks, I'll do a split. Maybe, or try. Alrighty. Here's hive number 3. This is kind of cool. This is from hive 3. This is the larvae when it starts to develop, this little girl. I think. Maybe a drone's got big eyes, but I don't know. Anyway, this little guy fell out when I split the boxes, Anyway, thought you'd like to see. This is just another stage of development. Kind of cool. Yep, and here we are for top box of hive number 4. And you can see the other guys are going back into their home happy now. But you can see I took off their winter blanket. I left their top on just like I said. It's kind of interesting if this hive is set up the same. We have like those that use the bottom entrance and then those that use the top entrance. And I'm not sure why they do that, but that is what they're doing. So I don't want to take their primary entrance away and mess up these two hives. There's a lot of bees in this hive as well. So far it's looking very similar to the other one, and we'll take a look on the next level. So here's the second level, and yeah, everything is looking very similar as hive number 3, which makes me happy. And let's see, hive number 3 I found, looking on every one that I could see, I found 3 mites. So, not bad. Not for that number of bees. You can see them on these little guys pretty well. Whoops. Not sure if the focus is focusing on this. But, here we go. Here's the second box. And here's the bottom box of hive number 4. Super excited. I found the queen, the original queen from last year, marked with red. And the other box doing her thing. So these guys are just building comb and filling the comb up and tending to whatever they're tending to. So I know where the queen is, so I'm going to hurry and get her back where she belongs. For those of you wondering what the queen looks like, there she is with the red dot. Last year's queen. Still going strong. Where is she? Where is she? Okay, I'm going to put her back now. Okay, all reassembled. And there they go. See, they're using the top door right now. But I did just clean up the bottom, so it might take a little bit until they get used to it. These guys are still somewhat going to the top, but they are also going towards their door. So they're figuring it out, slowly but surely. Yep. And then next week, when I decide what to do with those nukes, or the splits, I will use the nuke boxes and go from there. I mean, there's a lot of bees in there, so we'll see what happens. I don't want to take too many in case they don't build their own queen, but I certainly don't want the current hives to get crowded and then they leave me. So we'll see what happens. And that is all for today's bee adventure at the ranch. Hopefully, we'll be getting some honey this year. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I've got to potentially take off that third deep so that they aren't spending the whole summer just filling their house full of food and not getting anything extra for us. However, we'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be enough left or they'll fill it up fast enough that once I give them some food, this and that, I'll be able to pop those honey supers on. We'll see what happens. Kind of go with the flow. Have a great day.